So this is the cantaloupe that I threw on top of the car because last year we had a bunch of raccoons that were eating through the cantaloupe, and so I threw it on top of the car, but I'm pretty sure they can get up here if they really wanted to. But what I'm going to do is let it kind of vine up to the hood of the car, and then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll probably just go ahead and bag them up a little bit better this year. But here's the lettuce. I'll probably eat that tonight. No matter how quickly I try to get through this lettuce, there's just always more lettuce in this yard for me to eat. So this morning, I did a little bit of harvesting for about 3 hours, and then I cleaned up all the mess. I took care of all the peas. I bagged up all the seeds, which I'll show you in a second. But here's the basil, so the Genovese basil, and the lettuce leaf basil on the right, coming in pretty good. Of course, I still have the lettuce leaf basil that's closer to the front of the house. And then this is looking pretty good inside here. You can see that the root system is doing really, really well. So that's a little bit of the Genovese basil, which I used for a lot of my marinara sauces, along with I'll can it into pesto sauce. And then I had some neighbors ask me for some seeds, so I took care of the peas today. They could shuck and get the pea seeds out themselves. And then I got the Walla Walla onions, and so those black specks there are the seeds. Bagged them up. They can go ahead and take care of that themselves. And then I got the row of tomatoes. There was a few isolated ones today that I went through here and picked off the early season tomatoes that were growing. And then I came through here and I had a few isolated really big bell peppers, so I went through here and picked them off. Now here's the pepperoncinis. I'm going to can tonight, and so I went ahead and I picked about 200 pepperoncinis. And I don't really need any more. I just harvested a few more this evening after my watering because I just noticed that a couple of the plants I forgot about. But here's another bell pepper plant. And they're coming in pretty good, but I definitely have more bell peppers than I need. A neighbor came by and asked me for some corn, so I went ahead and gave him about a dozen ears of corn. And then here's the squash coming in really good, and so that's going really well. The cabbage is fine. I'm harvesting a few cabbages every week and making those out of coleslaw and salads. But my tomato row here is doing really well, doing a lot of harvesting on a daily basis. Just finished my watering about an hour ago and did some harvesting for about an hour. But came through here and took some additional bell peppers, some more pepperoncinis, did the harvesting of tomatoes, and now that I'm looking at this row, I can see a couple red tomatoes that I probably needed to harvest that somehow I missed. And then I see some more over here. And so I probably won't harvest tonight anymore since I've already done it. And I'll go ahead and start back up tomorrow. Not sure if these pumpkins are going to make it to October. Maybe September more than likely. I follow the specs in terms of when to plant them, but they've grown really well this year, and they may be ripe well before end of October. Now you'll notice that I have some powdery mildew on the zucchini. Well, we did have some rain about 10 days ago, and I could have come through here and sprayed it with neem oil the day after it rained. It rained in the evening. And then in the morning, I thought about spraying, and then I realized I'm harvesting approximately about 200 zucchini per week, more than that. And I can't eat and give it away fast enough, and so I decided to just bag the idea of doing proper maintenance. As you can see, it's just there's a lot going on there. I'm going to go ahead and chop them down. The next time I do a walkthrough video, I'm probably going to go ahead and it'll look a lot different because I'll have probably gone through here and chopped them away and put those containers away. I just have too many zucchini, and then as you know, I've already done, I usually do succession growing, so I did my zucchinis in 3 time periods. And that row that you just saw was the first row that I planted. I got a second row and a third row that are producing right now, just starting. And so I'll be continually harvesting about 200 zucchini per week. And so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to try to keep on maintaining the first set of zucchini that I grew. I'm just going to go ahead and let them die off and deal with that. I went through here and I noticed I missed, it's funny how some are hiding all the time. So I came through today and I went ahead and picked some more zucchini. No matter how much I spend harvesting the beans, every time I go through, there's just more and more zucchini or more and more beans for me to pick. This is the third time today that I've gone through and picked the zucchini, or I'm sorry, the beans. And so every single time I go through, there's just quite a few that I miss. I harvested the cucumbers twice already today, and as I was watering, I noticed I had missed some, so I went ahead and picked them. The Romas and the San Marzinos, they came through, and so I harvested them. I know some of them are a little bit darker red. I just miss them a lot of times. They just, they're hidden, and I am just way too much in a hurry to sit there and really nitpick and look for them. Here's some additional pepperoncinis. I picked a couple hundred already. These were some more that I found. I forgot a container full that I hadn't picked, so I went through and picked about 3 dozen more. I'll go ahead and can those tonight, and so that'll be my project tonight. And then as I go through, this is the row, this whole section, that row on the left, and this row here with the pole sticking up. This is my cucumber row. Didn't nearly pick as many cucumbers this year. I got about 50 cucumbers in the fridge right now that I picked earlier today. I'm going to go ahead and take the ones that are sitting on the counter and the ones that I just picked today, and I'll can those into pickles. I still have jars and jars of pickles in the fridge, but I think I'll just give them away. And then, as you can see, the rows in the back there, those are the beans. They just keep on producing. This entire row, double row here, is the additional tomatoes, and they're starting to come in. I noticed that somehow some of the ripe ones are the ones that are coming about from the bottom, so yeah, I got to kind of go through and look through them. And then here is the cilantro. I harvest 2 different sets of cilantro, one over to the right and one all the way down the hill to the left side of the front yard. And then I have this other one. What I'm probably going to have to do, since this is getting so big, is I'm going to chop it down and just give it to somebody. And so that'll be kind of one of my projects tonight. Is I'll shoot off probably email to my aunt and ask her if she wants to come by and just pick up all these additional vegetables that I have that I can't get to, and should go to somebody. And then here's the new set of zucchini that's coming in. It's quite a bit here actually. So I have 2 rows of zucchinis, and you can see a lot of the new zucchinis forming. And so I'm already assuming that I'll probably have additional 200 zucchinis per week on average that I'll have to either give away or do something with. Now today for lunch, I had a lettuce leaf wraps with grilled chicken, and I also plan on this evening having a little bit of stir-fry zucchini with tomatoes, and I'll probably make myself a small salad. But that is a little bit of walkthrough. I know it was quick today. I'll do a little bit longer one the next time, because I'm going to have a lot of changes here in the garden. And the next time you see the walkthrough, I'll have a lot of these plants taken away and put away, just because I can let them continue to grow and produce a little bit. I mean, it's slowing down quite a bit, but I've got a lot of things to do here in the next 7 weeks before I head on back overseas. So I think it's a good idea here, as I think we're around August 17th-ish. And so I think it's a good idea for me to start winding things down on the first set of vegetable plants that I started, get them composted away. And then what I'll do is start doing some cleaning up and getting things packed away and getting things ready, because that process will just take me a long time as it is. But that's a little bit of the walkthrough this week. I'll be back in about 7 to 14 days and do a more thorough, complete walkthrough for you guys.